Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show, and this is a show that we do on Sunday night, which gives us an opportunity to come together as a community and to talk about some things that are top of mind for me and might also be top of mind for you. We've been doing this show consistently on Sunday night for like 127 weeks or something like that. And I honestly have a great time doing the show because it gives me, as I mentioned, an opportunity to interact with you guys. And I want to try for this live stream a little bit less of a structure and to maybe just go with the flow. So we are just going to talk about potentially whatever comes up in the chat. I do have some things that I will talk about if there aren't things that come up in the chat, but I want to have a little bit more of a fluid type of discussion because I don't have to have the structure that I've had in the past, especially because we moved away from doing the Go Collect giveaway every single Sunday night. So it gives me a little bit of some flexibility to mix some things up into to do something that might feel different and a little strange, possibly. I am going to go to the chat in a hot second, but I do want to give you guys a heads up on some of the content that's going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. And I will tell you that there are a couple of cool videos that are going to be coming out. I just finished editing one of them earlier today, and it is specifically the top 10 most submitted books into CGC. This is a data set that I actually get from CGC on a monthly basis, and I basically put out this video to say, hey, this is what people are sending into CGC. Now, what's cool is that I get this data before it actually goes into the CGC census, and so it's kind of like a leading indicator in many respects. So that video is one that is going to be coming out this week. I'm also doing a counter video to one that I did before. A few weeks ago, I did a video all about trying to find balance in your life when it comes to comics and family and fitness and other things that are important to you. The whole video was about finding balance. I'm going to present the counter argument to that to say, you know what, sometimes you have to forget balance. So I think it's an interesting video that people will enjoy. A ton of CGC books have flowed into my house. I had at one point well over 100 books out at CGC, and a lot of those books are now making their way back here. For at least the next 2 weeks, you guys are going to be seeing some videos where I am unboxing some really cool books. This week, we are going to release a video where I have, I don't know, it's like 33 or 35 some odd books that we are going to unbox in this video. So stay tuned for that. And then on Wednesday, this is the second live show of the week. On Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be doing a show called Comics Today. We've been doing that show for 30 some odd weeks. And typically during that show, I have a guest or two on to help me to make sense of something that is happening in the world of comics. And that show, again, is on Wednesday. I hope you guys will tune in for that live show. And after this show, I'll put up the thing that gives you a reminder. In addition to some of that content, we are going to be releasing one podcast tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can take Regie on the go using your favorite podcasting platform. It doesn't matter which one it is. I'm probably on it. If you search for Regie Collects, you will find me there. And then we're also going to release one podcast. My buddy Doug has put together a wonderful blog post that we are going to be releasing on Wednesday at 7 a.m. And hopefully I didn't butcher any of that. I think that is all correct. So hopefully you guys will tune in to that content. And like I said, we are going to have a little bit more of a free form type of conversation tonight. There are 3 things that I'm staring at right now that I could talk about, and we may get to it. It depends on you all. So if you have things that you guys want to talk about, if you throw it up there in all caps, it will actually help me to be able to see it. Even though I now have this fancy monitor that I've been using with this new setup, it still helps me to be able to see it if you guys throw it up in all caps. So have at it, people. Let's get after. I see my man Joe. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Mike is in here. Cheers to you. Nerdscape is in here. The OG Blue Wrench is in the house. Tina, it is always good to see you, my friend. I hope you have had a good weekend. Scrolling up through some of the comments, seeing who else is in here. Pretty fly for a Filipino guy is in here. I see you, brother. Philtastic is in here. Shayna is in here. It is good to see you. Scrolling through, super honorable nephew, my man. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Scrolling through the names. Randy Resnake is in here. Talented artist. It's good to see you, bro. And the allergies have me a little bit today, so pardon me. Lee Wong is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Welcome to the live stream, to the Ready, Set, Go preview show. There was what is that? Doug is talking about some things here. Tribute to Richard Donner, Superman movie director. It's good to see you here, my friend. Brew, ha ha ha. When I started to read that, I didn't know where it was gonna go. It does not fit the Incredible Hulk icon there, but you know what? We're just gonna roll with it. Richard, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Joshua's in here, my brother, my Canadian brother, Squirrel Madness, aka Wayne. It is good to see you, brother. Scrolling through the comments again, if there's some things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps because it'll actually help me to see it. And if you don't have anything you want to talk about, that's okay, because I have things that I can talk about. I am simply putting them off, allowing you guys to control some of the content. I'm not going to talk about marshmallows. I don't know if that's what you were insinuating there, but we're not going to talk about marshmallows. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Jay, how you doing, brother? Jess Pele in the house. Is always good to see you. No, brother, you didn't miss anything. We are taking a less rigid structure for this show. I feel like sometimes I am so busy trying to construct the show that I don't spend as much time just interacting with people. And so my thought was today to maybe do something a little bit different, to take some of that structure away, to take some of that rigidity away, and to just be a little bit more in the moment. So that's what I'm attempting to do here. So it is good to see you. It is good to see you trying something different. There you go. Scrolling through. All right, cool. So I don't see anything popping up. So I will talk about something. So the little surprise that we got, I think it was last week from Boom Studios, was I guess the spinoff that they're trying to do for Something Is Killing the Children. And this property is extremely hot. And if you watch the CGC top 10 submitted video that I'll be dropping this week, you'll see what I mean by super hot. But Boom Studios let it be known that they are doing something with this Something Is Killing the Children spinoff series, and it's the House of Slaughter. And I received several messages from people, including one creator that was like, did you know anything about this? And honestly, I didn't know anything about it. It's been a little while since I had a conversation like in depth with Regie. So I had no clue, but let's be honest. None of us should be surprised. None of us should be surprised that they are trying to build out that universe, if you will, or at least the IP probably is a better way to say it. Given the success of everything that is happening with Something Is Killing the Children, that is a really hot property, and it makes perfect sense that they try to expand it. And I don't know if this was something that they had planned all along, or whether this is something that has been a byproduct of the success that they are seeing with this property. But this is something that I found on comicbook.com. Something Is Killing the Children spinoff series, House of Slaughter revealed, and this dropped on the 15th, which was 3 days ago. And I'm not going to go through this thing in detail, but ever since the first glimpse of House of Slaughter and Something Is Killing the Children #5, I knew that there was an entire world of monsters and monster hunters outside of Erica Slaughter's story. And once the book grew into the juggernaut of a series, it's become, thanks to all the incredible fans like us, I knew I wanted to start telling those stories, say as James Tyen. I've been so honored to have the incredible Tate and phenomenal Chris join us to tell this exciting new story, introducing everyone to the hunters Erica grew up alongside and the houses within the Order of St. George. So this is going to be really, really cool, I think. And again, Something Is Killing the Children is amazing. They're trying to build upon that success, and you can rest assured that there's going to be a ton of variants of this. There's going to be a ton of variants that, they're probably going to throw some foil on this stuff because, we like foil. We like some of that. So this is going to be a really cool book, I do believe. And I think a lot of people are going to try to get on board with this one, especially those folks that missed out on Something Is Killing the Children. Those people that didn't miss out on Something Is Killing the Children are probably going to jump on this one as well, thinking that if Something Is Killing the Children comes to Netflix, right? Because it's pointing that way, that if it does happen, then this could be another slice of the pie that gets introduced to Netflix at some point. So Ross Ritchie is not. The guy is smart. The guy is smart. So is James Tyan. These guys know what they're doing. And I definitely applaud them. I applaud them for building upon the success, building out this universe. And fingers crossed that this House of Slaughter is as good as Something Is Killing the Children has been. So let me go to the chat real quick because I've not been paying attention to that. Yes, there will be a House of Slaughter free comic book day. And I think Ross Ritchie posted up on the Instagram machine just the other day telling people to make sure that they pick that up. I'm guessing that they're going to give some details in that. So rest assured that I'll be snatching up a copy of that. Randy Resnake's jumping in on that. What did he say? Where'd it go? Oh, I lost it. There's going to be one of the free comic book day titles in August. You are correct about that, sir. Scrolling down through some of the You and me both, brother. You and me both. Scrolling through some of the comments, seeing what else. They should introduce Sergeant Slaughter into Something Is Killing the Children universe, says Squirrel Madness right there. Scrolling through is something foil book worth buying. I don't know if I would go that far. I don't know if I would go that far to say that that's something that you should buy or shouldn't buy. I'm simply making the point that Ross Ritchie and the folks over at Boom Studios know that we like foil, and they put foil on things like they did with Berserker. There were a couple of different foil covers of Berserker. So I'm just having some fun saying that potentially we will get some shiny foil, maybe from Jenny Friesen for House of Slaughter issue #1. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Let me scroll through some of the comments here. Foiled again. Well done, sir. Well done. Wait a minute. Did you see there's a preview for House of Slaughter #1 in Basculus 1? I think that's how you say that. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. You know what? I came close last night. I was looking at a comic, and there was a preview of that comic available. And I started to buy it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna buy preview type of things. I'm not gonna jump into those waters. I'm gonna resist that. And the eBay is like a siren song. Okay, the eBay will lull you in, especially late at night when you are having all these random thoughts about comics. So I'm glad that I backed away. Pretty Fly for a Filipino guy says foil is great for packing sandwiches. Do you also put your chips between your bread and on top of your meat, sir? That is the question that I have for you today. What is this? I have 2 foils of Something Is Killing the Children. There you go. Kimball in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Mike says that he is going to visit his parents and to go through his long boxes in the attic. So, Mike, let me know, brother, if you need some help, if you feel like you may need some assistance with pulling the ladder down from the attic, with climbing the ladder, with, hunting through the boxes in your parents' attic, you let me know, because I have a Gibbon Gang / Comic Book Swoldier that I can send your way to assist you in this endeavor, my man. I'm gonna tell you, I was in my own attic recently. And I'm gonna be honest with you. There isn't much up there, but I was still hunting, hoping to find Action Comics #1 up in the attic, kind of stuffed under the boards. I was up there looking for it. I had a flashlight. It was like 1,001 degrees. But you never know. You never know what you can find in the attic. There you go. What is that? Enter the House of Slaughter will be a hot one for New Comic Book Day for sure. For sure. You I'm telling you, we can pull the string, right? We can hold the ladder when you go up. We can hold the light while you're hunting through the man. I'm telling you, you let me know and we can send people over there. What L. Smith says, just give me the foil, the chromium, and the emboss. That's what's up, brother. Don't get me started on the holograms. And it doesn't matter whether the hologram is blue, green, or gold. I am on board with the holograms. Let me tell you, I am a collector from the 90s. All of that gimmick stuff has a special place in my and I will tell you, to that point, there are going to be some books that are on the top 10 most submitted books in the CGC video on the list on that video that are directly tied to some of the things that we are talking about right now. I filmed this thing earlier today. Trust me when I tell you, there are a couple of surprises up there. The Silver Coin has been a good book. Scrolling through man, what is that? What is it? Ghost Rider. It's a Ghost Rider 15 or 50 that has that glow in the dark cover. I found a massive stack of those in the 100K collection. I think I've given a healthy number of them away. When is the Regie Collects Chromium variant coming, brother? So we are doing the Slow City Blues variant, right, with those guys over there, and it is foil. It is foil. There is a fence behind the main character, and we are turning that fence into foil. Some of the debris that was going to be blowing around on this cover is also going to be made into foil. I have a feeling that it's going to be a dope cover. So if the foil cover goes well, you never know. Maybe there'll be a hologram of me that when you move the book around, you get a little bit. Anything is possible, my man. Anything is possible. Remy, thank you for the super chat, man. I definitely appreciate you. I definitely appreciate the support when people take money out of their pockets, whether it be a digital pocket or not, and contribute to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. So thank you for that. What is that? No foil in the 70s. Scrolling through the comments, seeing what else you guys are talking about again. Ooh, yeah. Steve White points out that Noctera and Geiger have glow in the dark as well. I want to say that I just got the glow in the dark of the Noctera. I want to say that I got that one. I may have picked up the Geiger as well. I have one comic shop in Oakland, California, that pulls books for me. And I'm actually, they pull the Bad Idea books for me. And because I want to maximize my shipping, I tend to order some additional books from their online portal. So I picked up a couple of Noctera and Geiger books from them to add to the Bad Idea books that they are mailing to me. So I think that I picked those up. And it might have been one of those things, honestly, where I had it and I had a lot in my cart and then I put some things back. So we'll see what actually shows up here at the house, because sometimes I cannot remember when I, cut myself off from spending things. So was it Feed My Eyes says, finally got around to collecting the Fatal Attractions hologram set. Oh, that's what is it? X-Men, X Factor, X Force. I think that's was that a crossover event? I want to say in the Mutant books. I can picture some of those. Scrolling through some of the comments here. DB, brother, there is always a trap of some sort, right? There is the let me add a few more things to get the free shipping. There is the let me maximize my there's always some trick that we play with ourselves in order to justify what we do. Oh, that's a good one. The Enemy Within, that's a good one. That's a good one. I want to say I found several copies of that one. That cover's okay. It's not an amazing cover. It's okay. I think the Ghost Rider cover that you guys know what I'm talking about is probably a little bit nicer than that one. But yeah, I know exactly which cover you guys are talking about. So if you came in late, we are basically having a free form conversation. There are 3 things that are on my agenda, but we are taking a very fluid approach approach. So far, we've spoken about one thing that was on my list, and that was Something is Killing the Children, the spinoff, the House of Slaughter spinoff from the folks at Boom Studios. It seemed like it was a little bit of a surprise. It seemed like it kind of sort of came out of nowhere, but definitely it is James Tyan and Ross Ritchie and the good folks at Boom Studios that are trying to maximize the opportunity that they have with this intellectual property by rolling out House of Slaughter. Again, there's probably going to be 100,000 variants that are going to be coming out from this thing. I'm actually scrolling through some of the variants here right now, and there are a handful of them that they're actually showing, which means that there's probably a lot more. Oh, and there is a Jenny Friesen. There are probably a lot more that are going to be coming through, and I'll probably pick up a couple of these as well. But yeah, tune in to the video that I'll be dropping later this week, the 10 most submitted books into CGC, because there are a couple of Boom Studio books on the list. So be sure to check that out. Let me see. Steve says, so my goal in the coming weeks is to cut out variants from my pull list to reduce costs. But man, some of those covers are cool. I respect it, brother. I respect the desire to reduce some costs, man, because it all adds up. It all adds up, right? You have a book you really like and you want to get the cover A, then you see all the gorgeous covers that come out with the different variants and the different print runs, and it is enticing. It really is enticing. But sometimes you have to draw some lines. You have to draw some lines in the sand. And again, if there's things that you guys want to talk about, if you throw it up in all caps, it will actually help me to be able to see it, because there was a comment here. Shout out Justin, Mark Andrews, my man Mark Andrews. I talk to him fairly frequently, and this guy's living a charmed life. Okay, Mark Andrews is living a charmed life up in Canada. He's retired. He's retired, semi, kind of, sort of. But he has a personal comic book shopper. He has a personal comic book shopper by the name of Justin, and Justin rolled into town with a ton of books for Mark. And Mark's been sending me photos, making me jealous down here in the lower 48, right? Making me feel jealous that he has a personal shopper that is absolutely crushing it out there hunting for him. But shout out to Mark, shout out to Justin. I definitely appreciate you, Mark. And Justin, when you subscribe to the channel, I too will appreciate you. That's all I'm saying to you. Just go ahead and hit that button, brother. I'm looking right at you. All right. So there's a question here. Do you submit books to CGC for signing events? I do not. I have resisted that temptation. I am not big on signed books, right? Like, generally speaking, there are people out there that absolutely love signed books, and I think that that's dope, because, you know, the thing is, this hobby is a great hobby. It's a big hobby, and there's enough room for everybody. People love the signatures. I don't necessarily hunt for signatures. If there is a creator that I have an opportunity to meet, then I might seize that opportunity. And when I was younger, I actually had a lot of books signed by Mark Bagley and some of the guys that left to go off and do Image. But as an adult, not so much. I haven't really done the signature thing. I did get a couple of books signed by Stan Lee. I've had books signed by other creators like Chris Claremont, but I had an opportunity to meet Chris while Chris signed my books. And so I haven't. The cost associated with some of those signing events are kind of sort of high. And because it's not my thing, I choose to spend my money elsewhere. And again, that is not a criticism of anybody that decides to do that. I'm simply trying to explain why I do what I do, or not, or not. But again, I definitely like the questions. So certainly if you guys have them, if there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps, and then we can definitely dig into it. When you forgot what you purchased is that's true. Bro, but let's be honest. Many a box that comes into my house is technically a mystery box, because sometimes with the delayed shipping, you forget what you order. With the quantities of what you order, sometimes you forget what you order. There's things that show up in my house that I didn't even order that are sometimes A-OKs. Sometimes there's things that publishers send me, like the folks at Skybound send me things that I end up giving away to you guys. It's almost always a mystery around here. So I'm always like, ooh, what is this? What did we get today? Let's open it up. But again, again, just another fun aspect of the hobby for certain. So I'm scrolling through some of the comments here. Again, if there's things you guys want to talk about, let's talk about it. Pretty Fly for a Filipino guy is declaring how he likes to roll. He's like, hey, I like my signatures on the inside. I respect that. That's how they used to do it back in the day, man. Back in the day, I remember when I used to get comics signed in like 92, 93. I remember creators asking where I wanted the signature, whether I wanted it on the cover or whether I wanted it inside the book. And I do believe I have several where they're actually inside with pen. And I know back in the day, that was a really big thing. So I get that. And, you know, sometimes if a signature is on a cover and it's not an attractive signature or it's not in the proper place, that can actually hurt the grade of that comic because it takes away from the aesthetics of the cover. So, there you go. So Milt agrees. I appreciate it. So scrolling through some of the comments here, Steve says, I have switched to CBCS for my signed books. Change the font needs to be around. What he's referring to there, I do believe, is the font that is actually used on the label of the CBCS books. A lot of people do not care for the way that cover is, that label is actually designed and laid out. I think a lot of people do like the new cases that they came out with several months ago. Well, it's probably been maybe a year now. People like the CBCS case. But the label is still problematic. And I honestly don't know why they haven't changed it, because that's one of the biggest complaints that they actually get. So scrolling through, there was a comment that came through. St. Louis Ron says, hey, Reggie, tuning in late. Is that the first House of Slaughter going to be a free comic book day? I don't know the sequence of it, brother. I know that there is a free comic book day comic that is coming out. I honestly don't know the timing of it. It might be August. And then I know that there is the House of Slaughter issue #1 that is coming out. I don't know all the timing in all the details. I have not dug into it, but I'm confident that someone will probably respond to you right here in the chat that will give you a rundown of some of that stuff. Scrolling through, Doug says he loves those mystery boxes, and he puts the quotes around it because we're talking about things that we ordered or that were A-OK to us that show up at the house that, you know, it's like a mystery because it's like, what is it? What exactly are you? Scrolling through, I had many signed books over the years for free. There you go. That's what's up. That's what's up. Scrolling through some of the comments here. No, brother. No, you tell your wife that this is not about age, that these are first world problems that comic book collectors have. First world problems that comic book collectors have when we order too much stuff and forget what it is that we ordered. I was just looking downstairs for bags and boards. I'm like, where is my order of bags and boards? Technically boards, because I need those. Come to find out, I never actually hit the submit button. I put it in the cart, never hit the submit button. So again, and I've been waiting 2.5 weeks. You have to have fun with this stuff. You have to have fun. Reggie, I have a question. Sleigh bells, are they, I think, are you talking about sleigh bells from Bad Idea? I have not read that issue. Literally, that issue showed up at my house yesterday from one of my comic shops in Cali. I have not read it. I have not seen any information if that's what you're talking about. If that's not what you're talking about, then I really don't know what you're talking about. So, but I think you're talking about the Bad Idea book, and I honestly don't know. I don't know. I felt like there was a couple of one shots they dropped, and this could be one. I don't know. Honestly, I cannot remember. And so you definitely have my apologies like that. So Todd says, I've been buying sketches recently. Nothing like original art from your favorites, brother. There is nothing like original art there. That is true. One of the things that I really enjoy, man, honestly, is having the original art and setting the comic book next to it and just looking at them. I dig that. I like that. And I don't have a ton of original art. I do have some, and I honestly enjoy it. There is something about that black and white on that paper that is just, it is just nice. It is nice. Scrolling through again, if there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it in all caps, and it'll help me to be able to see it, and I'll check it out. There's a question here from a man, Kimball. He says, hold on, wait a minute. Let me get to that in a second. He said, Richard's talking about hoarding bags and boards, man. Man, it has been hard out there in these streets for probably a year. It's been hard. And I think people are, for whatever reason, just now starting to feel the pinch. I personally was experiencing the pinch of bags and boards many months ago. And that's why I started ordering in large quantities of 1,000, just to make sure that I always had ample inventory. And somehow in the relocation from the California house here, I ran a little close to E and did not realize it. And so I'm trying to get myself together. So Kimball has a question here. Are you going to go to any cons this year? That is a very big question. I'm actually getting a lot of messages from folks about that. I will tell you that I would like to do Garage Con here at the house. I would like to do Garage Con, and I'm evaluating whether me going to a con would negatively impact Garage Con, right? Because if I go, then I'm probably going to meet some people that potentially won't come to Garage Con. I want people to come to Garage Con, right? So I'm trying to decide. The other big thing for me is I like to have a business reason for going to a con, because I don't do signatures. I hate lines. So if I have a business purpose, then that gives me the motivation to do what I have to do by showing up. If I don't have a business rationale, the idea of standing in lines and spending money that I don't necessarily want to spend because I have my eye on something is a big deterrent for me. So there is the Rick and Dave con, Dave and Rick, I want to say is a con that is actually coming up here in the North Carolina area. I may go. And if I go, it'll be me sliding in, me looking around, talking to a couple of people and sliding out, because again, I'm not a all day con kind of guy. My attention span is not that long, believe it or not. Scrolling through some of the comments again. If there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps, because it will actually help me. Super Honorable Nephew, have you noticed still a shortage of My Lights and fullbacks? You know what? I don't buy the E. Gerber products anymore. I don't buy the E. Gerber products anymore. I made that pivot off of them probably more than a year ago. It's probably been maybe a little bit longer than that. I was trying to use the E. Gerber stuff. I like their products, but I could never really remember the right size of bags and boards, and I would order the wrong stuff, or the stuff that I needed I couldn't find at the local comic shop, so I had to order it online or go to eBay. It became too much of a hassle, and so I completely walked away from the E. Gerber products, and I only do the BCW stuff. The BCW stuff, by and large, I never have a hard time finding it. The bag, the board works for the My Lights or for the poly bag. Like, I don't have to think about it. Like, it's done, you know? And so that's what I've been using. Again, no disrespect or whatever to the My Lights or the E. Gerber. I think they're great products. And if they work for you, they work for you. But yeah, I kind of sort of had, a difficult time always finding some of the things that I needed. Maybe it was a California thing. Maybe it was a Northern California thing. I honestly don't know. Scrolling through some of the comments here again, if you throw it up in all caps, it'll actually help me to see it. If I don't get myself too bogged down, but I'm scrolling through some of the comments here. Sarge is basically, he's catching up. He says, yeah, I'm talking about Sleigh Bells as a book, #2 coming out. I was just wondering. Yes, from Bad Idea. Yeah, I don't know if there's a #2 coming out, to be honest with you, brother. Scrolling through some of the comments here, scrolling. There you go. Pretty Fly's getting in on it. Scrolling through. Man, I want to do Garage Con. I said it to my wife. I definitely want to do it. How the heck do you clean dirty comics before bagging and boarding? One of the easiest ways, brother, is to get a microfiber cloth, right? If you just get a nice microfiber cloth, that is just a great way to just wipe the dirt and dust and debris from a comic. And sometimes that's really all that you need to do to actually clean a book. And if you don't have that, if you have children, if you use one of those, like a child's washcloth, when I first started cleaning and pressing books, that's actually what I used, was a kid's washcloth because it essentially is a microfiber product, and so it won't scratch the book. So you can probably use that. You want to have a clean surface, of course, and a lot of times, depending upon what I'm doing, I'll have a mat down, put the mat down, and then I wipe the comic down, of course, using a microfiber cloth. If you really want to clean, you can also pick up a cleaning kit from regiecollects.com. So scrolling through, GarageCon is dope. Is dope. Doug is throwing it out here. He's going to Terrificon, NYCC, and hopefully GarageCon. That's what's up. I was wondering if you were going to go to the New York Con. I had a couple of people send me messages asking if I was going to make it that way. And again, if I have a good business reason, then I probably will. If not, I won't. All right. Scrolling through, Steve is going to go to NYCC. That's what's up. Scrolling through, MegaCon right there. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Okay, cool. All right. So I think I'm all caught up on that. One of the other things that I wanted to toss up here for you guys is that the Image Comics is actually turning 30. Image Comics is turning 30, which is incredible. So Image Comics turns 30 next year. A look ahead at what's coming and what could be coming. And this is an article that I basically found on newsarama.com. I'm not going to read all the details of this, but basically it's highlighting here that Image Comics will celebrate its 30th anniversary in 2022. It's been 30 years since the creator-owned comics company launched by 7 creators from Marvel Studios. And they give us a little bit of a preview of some of the things that are actually coming out. Jim Valentino, who I do have signatures from back in the day, is working on the book, The Official Image Comics Timeline, to be published in February of 2022. He is also talking about reviving Shadowhawk series in 2022, but no specifics have been given. And there is also a rumor out there that we're going to get the Wildcats coming back. I think I saw that possibly on Geek Collector app that they're talking about Wildcats is going to be coming back. And I am a big fan of Wildcats. You guys know that. Just the other day for Foil Friday, I posted up my 2 copies of Wildcats issue number 1, the gold cover that from Jim Lee. But there's a rumor that we're going to get some Wildcats coming back. So that could be pretty dope. But this article actually goes on to talk about how some characters from Image, from that first wave, have been pulled over to some other DC books. There's a possibility that we're going to get some additional stuff coming through, possibly some digital copies of some of these titles. So it was just an interesting article to read, but it struck me because I don't think that I fully realized that it had been 30 years since Image had launched. And you look at where they are right now versus where they started, and it really is amazing. It really is amazing what they've been able to do as a company. And a lot of those guys are still active in Image as a company, still active in comics. And it's pretty cool because these guys were big back in the day. And I remember when they left Marvel, it was a crazy time. So definitely a cool thing. And I just kind of threw this one in for nostalgia. Last night, I was actually reading Wildcats. I think it was like issue 8 or something like that, because I started reading it many months ago from issue number 1. And I stopped and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back and continue reading a little bit of Wildcats. So fingers crossed that they actually bring Wildcats back, because I would like that. There was a lot of really cool characters that Image introduced back in the day. So we'll see whether for this 30th anniversary next year that they actually bring some of this stuff back. Maybe it'll actually have some impact on the value of those comics, right? That'll be interesting to see. Kimball says, it's hard to believe it's been 30 years. Yes, indeed, brother. It's funny how Reggie describes are they all that different? Are they all that different, sir? That's what I'm asking you. And I do have to go to the DMV in August, so I am not looking forward to that. When is the Gibbon party? I don't know, brother. I've got to work on that. There's a couple of things I've got to do. Let me see. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Gen 13 was his favorite, says Lee. I never read that one. Right there. McFarlane was determined to make Image succeed. Brother, McFarlane is determined to be successful. You know, that guy, man, he is really, really impressive. I don't know how old he is, but it doesn't really seem like he is it doesn't really seem like he's slowing down. I mean, he's still pushing pretty aggressively, which I think is good. You know, I think that some people just have that determination in them that no matter how successful they are, they still want to do more. They still want to achieve more. And a family member once said, that is not something that can be taught. Oftentimes, that type of drive and determination is actually innate to that person. So shout out to Tom McFarlane. John says, I remember the image lines in Philadelphia 1993 for McFarlane, Liefeld, and Larson. Probably a pretty long line back then. That's true. There are no comics unless you bring your own on the iPad. Unless you bring your own. And yes, I do have an appointment. Scrolling through some of the comments here. You know, the thing is, there are people that love them. I'm just not a con guy, man. I'm not a con guy. I don't like lines. I'm not big on crowds. You know, one of the things that I've actually been debating is if I should set up a booth at a con, because again, if I have a business reason to do it, then I'll do it and I'll probably have a blast, right? Part of the reason why I like GarageCon is because I actually get to have conversations with people, and that's kind of fun, right? But just going to a con and just being there, that's not my thing, because my wife won't go, my kids probably won't go, and if they go, then it'll be chaos, right? So it'll be me by myself, and it, you know, I don't know. Brigade was his favorite book, says D. Brigade was pretty good. There were Prophet. I mean, there were a lot of really cool books out there, man. What's the biggest key comic to come from Image? Spawn 1. That's probably the biggest one is Spawn 1. That is still bearing fruit to this day, right? That is probably the biggest book out of Image that readily comes to mind, that literally is still being submitted into CGC, still has some value and relevance to this day. That would probably be the one that I would point to. He's 60. Thank you, brother. So man, now I feel like I'm slacking. I feel like I'm slacking. This guy is 60. Wow. Hey, Tina, I'm telling you, who was it? Oh, there was a guy that doesn't really come around the channel that much anymore, but I remember I had a lot of conversations with him years ago about how to survive a con, and he built a seat. He built a seat out of one of those 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot with like the pad on it, the whole 9 yards. And he basically made himself almost like a toolkit inside of that bucket. And my man had a plan. This dude loves cons. He loves signatures. He had a plan. He had it all mapped out where he was going to go. And it's like, brother, get after it. Get whatever your thing is, get after it. And he loved cons and signatures, and so he definitely had a plan. So don't bring the wife to the con unless she's in, brother, because that could go really, really wrong. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring her unless she's into it. My wife doesn't listen to me anyway, so what am I talking about? Scrolling through some of the comments, there you go. Only go for the first day. There you go. That's the time to go to the con, right? That first day when people are still at work, right when the doors open up, you slide in, you slide out, you do your thing. That's the way to go. Or you do the really small cons where you can see the back door from the front door. That's the kind of con I like, where I can see everything. I take it all in, I slide in, I maneuver a little bit, and then I slide out. So scrolling through some of the comments, so I think somebody shouted out Walking Dead. Walking Dead is actually not an Image book so much as it is a Skybound, right? I think it's like a Skybound book versus an Image book, right? So that's part of the reason why I didn't highlight that one. So scrolling through, Squirrel Madness says, I just like going through boxes, so prefer shows to cons. There you go. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Lee Wong says, I just submitted 14 copies of Spawn 1 back in June. I think that I just saw your books hit the list at CGC. Okay. I think you and everybody else sent a lot of Spawn books have been flowing in from what I'm seeing. Don't forget Wetworks is dope. Wetworks is dope. That was Will, right? I think Will did Wetworks. That was a good book. There was another one. What was the one with the guy with the star? He had like a starfish on his chest. I can't remember what that was. I went back and reread that one, and it wasn't terrible. He had basically like an alien starfish on his chest. Scrolling through, there we go. John's going back in the day. He said I used to sponsor local cons in the late 1980s with some amazing guests, Steranko, Atkins. Wow, that's all right, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. I've actually noodled those types of things. I think some of that stuff would actually be pretty fun. I think it would be pretty fun to do some of that stuff. Tina, I don't know what I said, but if you laugh, I'm good with it. Scrolling through some of the comments here, couple of people shouting out, Walking Dead, agreed, but I think Walking Dead again is a skybound book and not an image book per se. Just Pele, who owns a comic shop, he says, my wife is a real trooper. She gets into it because I enjoy them, and since she's an artist, she likes to check out their booth. She even helps. There you go. She's got a business rationale to it as well. Scrolling to Wildstar. There you go. Thank you, brother. I knew somebody would remember that one. I kind of sort of like that one. I didn't read it back in the day. But I read it a couple of years ago. A copy that I actually bought back in the day that I never read. I actually read it, and I did not dislike it. I did not dislike it. Let's put it that way. So scrolling through some of the comments here. Let me see. Okay, I think I'm all caught up on some of that stuff. I think I'm all caught up. I don't remember that one at all. All right, so we've rattled off a couple of things that are going down here, just kind of catching up, having a casual conversation. One of the other things that I wanted to show you guys, and hopefully I won't get jammed up over this one because, the people that do all the copyright infringement stuff, a lot of times will catch some of this stuff, but I saw this one. Marvel releases X-Men Trial of Magneto trailer. If you have not seen this trailer, I definitely want to encourage you to check it out, right? Because I'm going to be honest, I wasn't all that excited about this Trial of Magneto thing, but then I saw this trailer and I was like, oh my goodness, this might actually be pretty good. So here's the thing. I don't think I'm ruining anything. Scarlet Witch is dead, and they think Magneto actually did it. And I don't know why I didn't know this. I don't know the whole backstory. I need to go back to look at canon. But Magneto is not the actual father of Scarlet Witch. And I need to go back. I need to dig into the archives. I want to read the story. So if you guys know where that was revealed in the comics, you let me know because I want to read that. But he raised her as his daughter, and he is on trial for having killed her. But I guess he's saying that he didn't kill her. And so this is actually potentially going to be a pretty awesome, I think it's a mini series. I think it's like a handful of books. There you go, on sale in August. There you go, handful of books that are going to be coming out. And I will probably read this. Because I want to know how this all turns out. So let me take that off the screen before we see something we shouldn't see. You never know how this stuff is going to go. Let me go to the comments here real quick because somebody probably has already given me the answer. I think nope, not seeing it yet. No one has thrown it up there. I do things with her I don't really like, and she does things. My wife listens to me drone on when I pitch to her my various ideas for different things that I want to do, like videos that I want to create or projects. So she indulges me in those respects. But getting her to go out in public to a place, that's a little bit more of a struggle for me. And I don't push her, especially because I'm also not quite on board with it. You know what I'm saying? So I bet Scarlet Witch isn't dead, says Sky. We shall see. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Pretty Fly, was good to see you, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Definitely appreciate that. Scrolling through another Image book. Was that Image? Was Pitt Image? Was Pitt Image or Valiant? I can't remember. Somebody will correct me on that one. No, that doesn't happen. I mean, if they do die, it is just a momentary thing. They'll be back. So Tess says Walking Dead is an Image book under the Skybound imprint. Yes, indeed it is. Scrolling through. There you go. Thank you, Pitt. Hey, if you haven't read Pitt, treat yourself. Pitt and Timmy. Pitt and Timmy is that is. I love that book. I really do love that book. I read that one again a couple of years ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed that one. I think I have a healthy portion of that run as well. Everybody's giving me the update. Thank you guys. I definitely appreciate that. You cannot remember everything. You cannot remember everything. So I'm glad that I have you guys. The Tigers in the house. How you doing, brother? All right. So again, just wanted to give you guys a little bit of some of the things that were on my mind as I was going through the news over the last few days. I wanted to share some of that stuff. And if you missed it at the top of the show, what I did was gave a preview of some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. And there's going to be a couple of really cool videos, I think, that are going to be dropping. One of them is the top 10 most submitted books into CGC list. This is a video that we've been doing for several months. This is where I get the data directly from CGC. And I will tell you that I was able to get some enhanced data from CGC this month that allows me to go a little bit deeper and to better highlight some of the books that are actually flowing into CGC. And when you watch the video, you will hear exactly what I'm talking about there. I'm going to be doing a CGC unboxing. I have a ton of CGC books that are sitting right there, a ton of them that are sitting off to the side. This week, you're going to get a unboxing video of roughly 33 or 35 of those books. Next week, you will get a really big unboxing. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned for that. I'm going to be releasing a video where I'm going to be talking about why you should say, forget balance. I totally butchered that. Why you should forget balance. Recently, I did a video talking about why balance was important and how you should potentially achieve balance in your life by prioritizing and eliminating a couple of things, right? So in this video, I'm basically saying forget balance. Throw it out the window. Sometimes balance is not what you need. And this is one of the things that I enjoy is arguing both sides of something. And so that video will be coming out. We are also going to be doing comics today this week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In addition to those things, we're going to be releasing one podcast tomorrow so you can take Regie on the go on your favorite podcasting platform. If you search Regie Collects, you will find it. And then Doug has a blog post that is going to be released on Wednesday, also at 7 a.m. So hopefully you guys will check out some of that content. All right. So I have not seen where'd that comment go? Somebody made Tribe. I actually have 2 copies of Tribe sitting right over there. I found the second issue recently. Shadowhawk, don't forget about that one. Is that the one with the black shiny foil? Is that the one with the black, or is that a matte finish on that one? I cannot remember. I can't remember because there was like Shadowhawk 1 and Shadowhawk 2. I did not see the Black Widow movie. I did not want to pay that price, so I'll wait for the free version. So I have not seen it. Just Pele is like, it was okay. Let me see. Regie is our angel, and well done. Scrolling through, there we go. Black shiny foil. There you go. There was a comment here that got away from me. And Master Blaster. Oh, there you go. He's going to see Black Widow in Wisconsin. That's what's up. Thank you, brother, for still being able to tune in despite the fact that you're not at home. Definitely appreciate that. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Again, we are basically just having a casual conversation. If there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps, and then we would just kind of riff on it. Scrolling through. All right, again, the caps actually all helps me. Oh, that's right, because he was I think he was silver. Right? On a black mat. I think that's what it was. There was also a completely black one, and I don't remember which issue that was. There was a black one that was super hard to see. Like you couldn't even read it. It was so matte finish. But there were a couple of those that I recall seeing out there. So scrolling through some of the comments here, Doug Smash. Let me see. There you go. Yeah, man. So here's the thing, brother. So I had not seen the Loki show. In a couple of weeks, to be honest with you. I did not honestly find the Loki TV show to be all that good. I personally did not enjoy it. So I hadn't really seen it. But then all of a sudden, earlier this week, I started to see all of these posts on Instagram. And I was like, I guess I know what happens now. There, you like sometimes you cannot avoid what happens, right? So and I wasn't upset at the people. I was more upset at myself that I kind of ruined it for myself by continuing to scroll through Instagram and you know, have it all be revealed. But the last episode of Loki I did watch, and I kind of sort of enjoyed that one. I kind of sort of enjoyed the last one. The others I honestly didn't, and that's part of the reason why you haven't heard me talk about it, because I did not really enjoy it. And I think that there's a rumor out there that we're going to get a second season of Loki, which I am not surprised by that. And I think that isn't this the first ongoing Disney Plus series? I think this is the first one that is an ongoing series. So the others, I do believe, all ended, I want to say. So it'll be interesting to see what they do for season 2. So scrolling through some of the comments here, too bad I delayed that only a couple of days before each issue. Yeah. Yep. Second season. Thank you, brother, for that. Definitely appreciate that. Ton of Kang books. You know, here's the thing. I put up my Kang book on, and I'll let you guys spoil it. I didn't. You notice I didn't reveal it. I let you guys do that for me. So thank you. I put up my Kang books. I hadn't even seen the episode because I still had not watched it. Still had not watched it, but I did, and it was not bad. Steve says he enjoyed Loki. Nothing wrong with that. That's again one of the great things about this hobby is that there's room for everybody. And I don't dislike Steve because he liked Loki, and he doesn't dislike me. It wasn't my jam. It was not my jam. Scrolling through. They just announced it. There you go. That's what's up. Rumor, not a rumor, confirmed in the credits. That's what's up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think it might have been She Spawn. It might have been She Spawn or Larissa. One of them tried to spend my money. They tried to spend my money. I think they tagged me on the Instagram machine on this Galactus thing. And I don't really like figures. That's not my jam. But this one almost got me. There have been 2 crazy statues that I've seen out there that almost got me. One of them was that scorpion. That scorpion statue, I want to say maybe from XM. I looked at that Joker for a couple of weeks. Like I was all in the photos. Like, this is dope. This is a dope statue. The texture of it, the whole 9 yards. But then this Galactus statue almost got me. And I was like, this thing is nice. I did not go to the website. I just kind of zoomed in on the post that I was tagged on. So, but Terry, who makes that? Terry, who makes that so I can check that out? Because I wouldn't mind seeing that up close. A new Kang comic series. Yes, a new series is coming. That is true. Joe says, I love the Loki show, best of the 3 Marvel shows. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. As soon as people didn't get Mephisto, they were like, it must be Kang. Kang must be coming. It's got to be Kang, right? But this time it actually paid off. No Mephisto, but we did get some Kang. And I think that guy that played Kang, I guess he's coming back. It would be really sad if this guy didn't come back for more than the one episode, because I think he did a really good job in that one episode that he was in. So maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll be, Kang. I don't want to completely ruin it for people, but no Mephisto, but we did get some Kang. So some of those statues, man, I'm telling you, we were just bored watching Loki too much. Yes, Jay. Yes, brother. That is, I was just like, come on, let's blow something up. Let me see. John says, absolutely setting up the MCU and Secret Wars, among other events. And that, again, one of the great things that they do with the MCU is that they plant all of these seeds. They do such a really wonderful job of planting these seeds, giving themselves so many different avenues to pursue, and encouraging us to speculate, not with dollars and cents, but to speculate on what could happen. That is the fun and the magic of the MCU, in my opinion, is how they leave open all of these possibilities, and eventually they start to connect the dots. And it's really wonderful how they do it. I would love to see Secret Wars come to the screen. Love to see it come to the screen. If it doesn't happen, it'll be fine because I'm sure whatever they come up with will be as great. But there are so many different paths that they could take. It'll be really awesome. So scrolling through some of the comments here, you guys are definitely on top of it. You guys are definitely on top of it. Well done, brother. Well done. Scrolling through some of the comments here. You guys are awesome. A couple of people throwing out some oof, the curly hair. Does he still have does he have enough hair to play the Beyonder at this point? I don't know. I don't know about David Hasselhoff. But man, the Beyonder would be dope. The Beyonder would be dope. I'm telling you, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Is it Coyote 3? If you guys go to Key Collector Rep, I'm sure somebody can pull it up. I thought it was like Coyote 3 or something like that. Maybe 6. I can't remember exactly. Reggie, what do you think of Miles Morales' sneaker variant? If I recall correctly, the sneakers were the only part of the pajama costume. Feed my eyes. I think you answered your question with the question. That's all I can say. You know, and I thought about it, and I think it might have been Lee Atkins that I may have been going back and forth with it. And what I kind of landed on, because I actually have been reading the Miles Morales series. I've been reading the entire Miles Morales series, which I think is the 4th ongoing series. I want to say my feeling is that potentially what we are going to get is Miles Morales putting on that costume so as to separate himself from the clones that are wearing his current costume. So that was my thinking, that he probably just threw this on to differentiate himself from the clones, because everyone thinks that Spider-Man's a bad guy because of the uniform that he's wearing. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But it could work because Hoff can't act and the Beyonder wasn't really human. So it's like magic. It actually makes a whole lot of sense. I'm going to watch the show. I'm not really big on cartoons, to be honest with you. Will I tune in? Yeah, I'll probably check it out. But I'm not terribly big on cartoons. So I'm not certain if that's one that I'm going to stick with. What I will say is that if it's good, I'll probably watch it. If it's good, I'll probably watch it. There we go. Squirrel Mattis is on it. There we go. You guys are awesome. You give it enough time, man. People will find the answers to this stuff. Sarge says, hey, Reggie, are you going to make a brick product? No, here's the thing. I can't make a brick product and tell people to buy it when I say don't catch a brick. Like it won't work. You know what I'm saying? It'll have to be like an anti-brick device that I would sell to avoid the bricks. You couldn't make the brick the product. It would have to be an anti-brick device, right? Scrolling through, I could pick someone to play the Beyonder, Gerald Butler. So scrolling through, hey, never take anything away from Knight Rider. That's like taking something away from the 18. You can't do that. Dope shows back in the day. You cannot take away some of those things. I have not watched beyond the first 15 minutes. And people love it. People love Invincible. I have not watched beyond the first 15 minutes of episode 1. I tuned in and I was like, and I just never went back to it. So, yeah. All right. So with that, I'm going to actually wrap this thing up, man. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. Hopefully you guys didn't mind this free form kind of thing. Again, part of the reason why I did this is because I feel like I've been maybe a little bit too rigid with the structure over the last 28 weeks that I've been doing this show. And I wanted to do something a little bit different, a little bit less rigid, a little bit less structured, giving me an opportunity to interact with you guys a little bit more. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Fingers crossed that you did. As always, if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. And please tune into the various videos and other pieces of content that are going to be released from the channel over the course of this week, because I think that there's some really good stuff that you guys will enjoy. But like I said, if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so. I am not too hard to find. Take care.